Hey guys, welcome to the Horse Industry Hype. I'm Tony Smith. I'll be your host tonight. I'm sitting here with four fine young gentlemen. Did some up-and-coming trainers from all over the country. Chet Simoneaux, Cade Shepard, Gavin Callahan, and Colt Moore. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
We'll start with you, Chet. Where are you from, and how long you been training horses?
From a little town called Bruley, Louisiana. 2017, I went and worked for Austin. And I think I stayed there for about 3 years. And then I went to James Payne's. I stayed there for about 3 months.
That's a lot of heat right there, bub.
I got words.
Well, it wasn't the heat. It was the COVID. So COVID hit, and then I went back to, and I took a job for my grandfather-in-law, Joe Colgrove, in Bowler-G. He had a bunch of 2-year-olds not getting rode as much as they needed that year. And so, yeah, I took the job there in April, but I guess since 2016, and then I kind of had some horses of my own after I graduated college in 2014, but I didn't grow up in the industry, so it's kind of where I got my start, down there in Summerdale.
Down there in Summerdale. That's where you got your start, too, right?
Yeah, I've been in Summerdale for quite a while.
Yeah.
So, Cade, what about you, bud?
Yeah, my grandfather and dad are both horse trainers. I've been riding horses my whole life. Showed the youth for a long time and non-pro, and turned my non-pro card in 2020. So I've been training horses for the last probably 5 years.
Cool. Yeah?
I'm from McConnell, South Carolina. I grew up showing in the youth and the non-pro and the amateur and stuff. And I moved to Texas, worked for Russ Westfall for not very long, maybe a couple months.
Couldn't take the heat. I was there. I can attest.
Yeah, we worked together.
Yeah, we did work together, me and William. I got a job offer from Cullen, was the real reason why I left. And I went to work for Cullen Chartier, and I dropped my non-pro card in 2023, so I've only been training horses. No, 2022. So, yeah, been training horses ever since then. So,
Colt?
Well, I'm from a little bit of everywhere. We moved a lot when I was a kid. My dad's a trainer too, and my granddad. But originally, like Florida would be where we lived mostly. I moved out here when I was 17 to go work for Paul Hansma, and then I worked for Jody Gallion for a short period of time when his back was hurt. Went work for Cass Tatum for probably 8 months, and then Russ Westfall offered me a job. I went there for about 2 years, and then in 2022 I went to work for Don Benuelos, and just recently went out on my own. So for about 5 years too, I guess, or 4 years I've been a horse trainer.
Sweet. Well, guys, when we kind of started planning this, this was before the futurity started, and had no idea we'd be sitting here with everybody at the table, except for me, of course, is a open semifinals. So congrats to all you guys
Thank
for
you.
making up the
Appreciate
semis.
it.
Like, that's no easy feat. And,
Colt's on 2.
Colt's got 2. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
something slight.
Pretty impressive.
And no step first.
And Chet, this is your first open semis?
No, second.
Second open semis.
Wow.
Cade, how many times have you made it?
I've been lucky enough to make it every year, so I guess this is my 4th or 5th.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah.
This is my third.
Third.
4th time I made the semis. Made it on 2 in 2022 and 2 this year. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's talk a little bit about your horses you're showing. Chet, what is he, and who started it? You know, kind of give us some information
He's a
about
dual rash out of Dual Catalina. He was raised and bred over there in Bowler, Alabama by Mr. Joel, and I started him, rode him as a 2-year-old. Real cowy, real quick. Always real liked him. His intentions were real pure. Little feely little guy, but he has a big heart. And he's a good horse.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
I remember you, I guess in the summer last year, you kind of liked him.
Yeah, I liked him then.
Backed on him a little bit then.
Yeah, I liked him then. I liked him now, and then, Mr. Joel gave me an opportunity to keep him, and he told me, he said, I wanted you to keep 2 nice horses, and he was one of them, and he gave me an opportunity to train him and come here and show him. So we've been really excited. Made the semifinals, Yeah.
Good deal. Well, good luck to you. You also made intermediate finals today.
Yep, made the intermediate finals today, and the horses were good. The cows were a little tough,
They
but
kind of run out of cows there.
yeah, but it was all right. It was good.
Yeah. Cade, about yours?
Yeah, so we bought mine. He's a raising the cash out of a playgun mare, and we bought him last year at the 2-year-old sale from Richard Jordan. And his horses kind of speak for themselves. So he was,
Especially when they run through that Circle S program.
yeah. When they come from him, it's pretty easy to train them.
Yeah.
They know a lot about a cow, and he's one of my favorite programs to watch and work after and everything. Carter Dowd, longtime friend, pretty much family. He bought him and let me train him, and he's a laid-back horse that likes his job. I
Yeah.
mean, he's smart and same horse every day, and he's been really, really enjoyable to train.
Yeah, I remember seeing him. He had a pretty distinct feature that, or lack thereof, shall we say.
He did.
What happened to his tail?
I don't know. He hadn't had one. He had a extension when we bought him in the sale, and then we took it out, and he had no tail till about 2 days before I showed him. I don't care.
Know this, but,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I remember watching the Super Stakes and the Derby, I guess, and he was a pretty cool horse.
Yeah, no, he's
and
very.
saw it in the sale, of course.
Yeah, no, he's nice. He's smart, reads cow good. He's got a pretty way. He can go fast. He can go slow. I mean, he reminds me of some of my past horses that I've had. So he's really cool horse.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mine is owned by C4 Cutting Horses, and they bought it as a yearling. And they had it at Wesley Galleons, and I guess I got it in its 2-year-old year, I guess, right before the bash of its 2-year-old year. And yeah, she's just been always really cutty and always, cared a lot about a cow and just really wanted to cut. So she's been nice to train, and I've never had to make her do her job. She's always volunteered. So yeah, she's been a joy to have. She's a metallic cat out of a Kit Kat mare.
Which Kit Kat mare? She's a Sugar Ray Lena?
Out of Sugar Ray Lena.
Yeah. And I believe, is XIT on that mare now?
Yep, XIT bought her, I think this year. Yeah, they bought her this year. Yeah.
Well, Colt, let's give you a few minutes. You got a couple of them to talk about. So, which one do you want to start with?
Yeah, so the stud, he was in the sale. Zach Rogers had him. He's a dual rayish out of Plymouth Spoons Mall. Actually, I got to thank Cade for that one, because he's the one that told Billy Whoop to buy that mare and the cross. And yeah, I really like the horse. I bought him, and I guess like a month before the BI maybe or something. I seen him. The guy his name's Kyle Fisher. He never really cut or anything. He bought him in the sale. Bought a few horses, a lot of nice horses, and I seen him in the practice pen working this horse there at Blue Ridge one day. Dave Costello actually seen him first and said, "Man, you need to look at this horse." And the horse kind of caught my eye too. And I mean, this horse was just doing a lot of cool stuff. And I just went and asked, hey, would you sell the horse? And lucky enough to get him bought. Thad York bought him for me, and yeah, it was a cool thing. Yeah, he's a nice horse. I like him a lot. Then the other mare, she's a Bad Boon out of Watch Me Whip. Clay Johnson had her as a 2-year-old. He showed me a video at the bash, and after the bash one day we got done working, I asked Don if he'd go over there with me, him and Jency, and I calling every customer I kind of had at that point, and everybody's like, "No, I don't want to buy her, and Don was kind of coming with me, I think, to probably buy her if I didn't. And so I tried her. I guess I probably worked 10 moves on her, and I said, Clay goes, "What do you think?" I said, "Well, I'll take her." And my wife was like, Jency was like, everybody said no. I said, "Yeah, we're going to buy her." And it was for enough money, so she wasn't happy with me at the time, but we did it. And if we didn't, somebody else was going to buy her, probably a Dawn. So I bought her, and then the Quirks bought her at the Super Stakes, and the rest has been history. And yeah, it's been good. It was cool that she made it as far as she has with all the story, very special.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and touch on because here in a little bit I'm going to ask you guys about some horses that have affected your career, but I believe you worked a little deal together on this mare when you sold her to get something back that was pretty special to you, right?
Yeah, no, she's more special than she knows, probably, because in this deal we acquired Playful Smooth, talk her back, and he's kind of the horse that, you know, did everything for me. You know, like, if a horse could be a best friend, that'd be a best friend. You know, it was a good deal.
Yeah.
The mare done more than she knows before she even stepped a foot in the arena. She did everything she could, and it was special because my wife got to show it, and it's kind of the same thing with her. And yeah, it was cool. We got him back. He came home.
And his barn name, Sam, right?
Sam, yeah, named after Sam
Sam's
Shepard.
granddad.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Sam was always pretty awesome to me. Like, I wasn't very easy to get along with when I was younger, and
No,
Sam
you don't
was
say.
Sam was always really nice to me, and you know, would take time out to help me and teach me, and he was just probably one of the most amazing people ever. And I seen that horse in the Triangle Sale, and it was out of that mare, and I like Talker because Lloyd Cox is my hero, and you know, all that too. And we were like, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy this horse, and we got it bought there at the Triangle Sale, and I was like, we called him Sam. The rest is history.
And what a good one he was.
Sure was.
And let's go. Let's talk about that a little bit. Like, Chet, you got a horse that stands out in your career that kind of
And sell horses.
Yeah. We like.
what horse really changed your career?
You know, mine might be a little different than these guys. You know, I've been running 2-year-olds since I was a kid. Probably about 14 years old, I started buying horses, and that's kind of all I really
Were you
knew.
as swole then as you are now?
No, I was about 175 pounds then.
Let this
Pure
man talk.
muscle.
Let this man talk.
But you know, I didn't grow up showing. You know, so you know, for side money as a kid, you know, I just rode young horses and tried to make some money. But to get to your question, so in 2021, we had Brecklin, and probably the most horse that stood out to me, and for years I would buy horses, sell them for the same money you bought them for, you know, really wasn't making any headway. Broke, making $400 or $500 a week, being a loper. So, you know, and then it was the first year I was at Mr. Joel's. Her daddy and me had partnered on a horse, and my mom wanted to partner on a horse, and we were going to somewhere, and Mr. Joel told my mom, she said, hey, you can just buy the other part of this mare, and we give $18,000 for her. And my mom bought the other side of it, and later that year, we wound up selling her for north of $250,000, and that was like the highlight of my whole deal. And this guy, he actually got to train her, and that was the year or so after I left. And I think did you make I missed the finals by
I missed the finals by
half a point, and it was the year that the average was the what was it?
It was the highest bubble to
Took a
date.
19 that
Took
year.
it to 19. I marked 218.5.
Yeah. And so that horse really meant a lot to me, being that one of my really good friends got to train it. Me and my mom owned it. It kind of helped us financially, and that was kind of the start. One of my favorite horses I've had was the horse that we had last year. I loved that horse. His mind was really good, and Monty Button got to show it here at the Futurity. And I don't know. I mean, like, I think on the show horse side, you know, this is probably one of my more favorite horses I've got to show, the one I have here, this 3-year-old, and I'm really looking forward to continuing, you know, to show him next year and throughout the Futurity. So, yeah.
Okay.
Man.
We got to pick a
Yeah.
couple anyway.
Yeah, I've got a handful. I mean, a lot of youth horses helped me along the way. I mean, there was a mare named Maze Miss Pop that Colt probably remembers that taught me how to cut. I mean, I didn't hardly know how to ride a horse, and she would pretty much cut her own cow, put your hand down, and she'd hold it, anything. And she kind of taught me what it was supposed to feel like. And and then I got to show a gelding named Pepinita ×2, and he was the first really good horse I got to show in the youth. Did good at the Derby and places like that, and kind of made some finals when I was just showing at weekend cuttings. I'd say those two in the youth were probably a couple that taught me a lot what a horse is supposed to feel like.
Right.
And then in the non-pro, I had two. I had Highbrow City Gildan, first horse I ever made the non-pro semis on. His name was some kind of highbrow, and he taught me how to win.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he was a good horse. He's won over, I think, 500,000 now, and Dad trained him, and he was fun.
Yeah.
Like,
You and that horse in that paisley shirt was a pretty good mix.
yeah, all of us are connected because the shirt I used to wear in the finals every time I showed that horse was a shirt that Colt gave me. So, I mean, that horse taught me how to win in the non-pro. Him and Twistful Thinking, I married my granddad trained. Won my first major event in Fort Worth in 2015, I think. I was 13 years old, and he trained her. And that mare, she was just a cow horse.
Yeah.
Like, she was wild and whatever, but when it was time to show up, she showed up.
Yeah.
And I won 2 major events on her. I would say those 2 in the non-pro, and then since I turned my card in, I'd say Countess Katrina. She's been
Another good one.
unbelievable. I mean, I'm so fortunate to get to show that mare. I've made the run for the million. I've qualified. This will be my 3rd year this year. Won my first major event at the Super Stakes in 2021, I think, in the 5- and 6-year-old on her, and made the World Finals. I mean, she's done more than a horse should do for anybody.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah.
Go back to Twistful Thinking, because I'm familiar with the story, but I don't know if everybody else is, but it's pretty cool. The 3rd generation horse trainer.
Yep. Yep.
You and Colt both.
Yep.
But tell us a little bit about training Twistful Thinking, because I'll let you tell it. But it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. I actually, going back even further, I used to show her mother in the youth some kind of twister, Charlie Israel, that raised Twistful Thinking. He used to let me show her in the youth, and she was another one of those youth horses that just taught me how to cut, how to do things correct. And then my granddad trained her and had her the whole time when I showed her at the Futurity, and he still owned her at that time. We ended up buying her from him, but that was probably the coolest experience, was getting to do it with him. I mean, we've come to Fort Worth since I was 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
At the Futurity was my first show out here. I mean, I've been coming my whole life, and we used to always rent an apartment across the road. And when we had that mare, Granddad would come pick me up every morning and get me. We'd go to the barn. I'd get her, saddle her, lope her for him. He'd work her. I'd turn back for him, and it was just a cool deal. And it was really, really special. Like when I won those 2 major events on her. Yeah, it was
That's awesome.
It was really fun.
That's awesome.
Got me in the Non-Pro Hall of Fame. She was really special.
Were you the youngest to go in the non-pro Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I was the youngest. I was 13 when I qualified. I think I was 14 when I got introduced.
Heck yeah.
Also the youngest in the Open. Hall of
Well,
Fame.
from my understanding, Colt was the youngest to ever go into the Open.
And about a week
about a
later.
week.
Yeah.
Till Cade came along a week later.
Sure was. It's pretty cool either way to get go in at the same
That is
time.
pretty cool. And that's something that the viewers watching, I don't know if they all know you guys or not, but y'all all been friends. I mean, since Chet, I know
I'm a little older.
you kind of come along a little older.
Kind of the grandfather group.
Yeah.
But I mean, these
Granddad
three,
Chet.
I can remember them running around. Since they were old enough to walk.
Yeah.
So that's pretty special that you guys have been able to do this and go from youth riders to open trainers. Y'all want to talk a little bit about that? I mean, is that something that helps you guys? Y'all kind of maybe bounced ideas off each other, and you get to work horses together. And, is that something that's beneficial?
Yeah, for sure. I think
Or does it hinder your friendship a little bit when all of you in the finals?
No, not at all.
That's the best.
I think
That's the coolest.
I think I've been to every single one of these guys' place, and I think I've stopped and worked for a couple weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
I just stopped in Summerdale right before the Futurity, and to get to prepare horses with him in Austin. I mean, it's awesome. You're getting to see you're getting to see each other's horses and say, hey, what's that look like right there? How's that look? So you get to kind of bounce ideas. And the year before, last year, I stayed with Chet. Right after the Southern, I went and stayed with Chet for a couple weeks, and we got to work together every day, and it was sweet. And I've stayed with William. I've stayed with him before the Derby. Yeah, I've been to Blue Ridge a lot, and I've worked there a lot this year, and it's so good just to be like, how's that look, or like, what do you think I need to do here? Should I work another one or should I not? Like, it's just to have that is so special. And I don't think it's never hinders you at all. I think all it does is help you, because at the end of the day, I told my wife this before the semis. I was like, what I hope for is for me, Paul, Chet, Cade, Colt, Harris, Ryan Howell. Like I was naming off people, and I was like, I would just love to be in the semis with those guys, and Coop. Yes,
He got two
For
in there
those of you
too.
who can't see, Cooper Clark's over here.
Two-time champ today.
Two-time champ.
Two-time champ, two-time semi-finalist.
Yep. Yeah, and to
Well, we might let him in a little bit. If
And
he's
to-
behaving.
it's never like a competition against I want to beat these guys. It's always, we all just want to do good and we want to help each other. This guy helps me every single run, and he has for years.
I can butt in. I think the coolest part about it is you're going to get an honest, straight up feedback on the questions you're asking. They're not going to just
You
say,
mean y'all don't
well,
hold anything back when y'all talk to each other?
shouldn't.
I know I don't hold
Especially
those.
if
No, we're good enough friends that we just tell.
Nah,
I want to be told.
Lynn
I'd
asked
rather
if
be
she could
told.
mic us up in the practice pen. Like, Lynn, I think
not a
there's
good
gonna be
idea.
Too much editing there.
Yeah, that'd be a lot
it's
of
not a
editing.
good idea.
But I think you get honest feedback if you work with your buddies, because, I mean, we all want to see everybody do good,
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt,
That's what I think.
for sure.
I guess we kind of got a little off topic there. We were going back to Gavin on horses that kind of changed your career or that really stood out in your career, whether it be youth, open.
Yeah, I
No
think you can start in the youth and say I had a horse named Johnny Rango, which you got to show him too, and
Yeah. I bought all of Gavin's old youth times to figure out how to show one.
yeah, the Johnny, he was a horse that really got me comfortable. I didn't have much confidence at that time, and when Dad let me start showing Johnny Rango, I felt like I could go put my hand down in any situation and just kick the crap out of him, and he's gonna go do his job, and it built my confidence. And then I got to show a
Stuck
horse
with you,
named.
too.
Yeah, it stuck with me. Yeah, that's right.
Mate, next Christmas, got your next time.
Yeah, a horse named Mate Next Christmas, a mare
Oh,
my
man.
dad owned that Colt got to show too in the youth.
Yeah.
That she was a super good mare, and she was awesome. And Time and Tequila, I think, was probably my biggest one. He was like towards the end of my youth career, and he was just awesome. I feel like me and that horse could have just done anything. Like I just was so confident on him. And you bought that one too.
Yeah,
So-
I didn't quite feel that way though. I felt like I was holding on for dear life when he dropped them shoulders out from under you.
I feel like that was the one that taught you how to win right there.
Yeah, I think he taught me how to win. I marked a couple of 227s on him and stuff, and like it was something that really helped my confidence. And then as I got into the Open, I think the first horse that I really got to show and make finals on was She's a Little Shady, a horse Cullen Chartier and McCall Chartier let me show, and I got to show her all year, and I got to make several finals on her, and she really built kind of my Open confidence. But I guess the first horse I really got to show and make the finals on was PRF Madeira Model, which is your horse that you sent me, and I made my first limited finals on her, and another one would be Young Moolah, or Raising the Cash, that I got to start myself in McConnell's, and I remember I started him and I had a hackamore on him, and Dad was watching me, and I stopped him for the first time, and this horse just drug his butt, and Dad was like, I've never seen a horse do that before. And I was like, I don't know, this is the normal? It feels pretty good. And so I ended up sending him to Marcus Spencer when I went to work for Russ, and so it was pretty cool. I got to go to that program after I left Russ's, and then so it was so cool. Me, Marcus, and Cullen just got to Marcus and me kind of worked him in his 2-year-old year, and then as he got into his 3-year-old year, I was working him, and Cullen was like, "Hey, let me work that horse." So Cullen got to work him, and we went back and forth on him. It was so cool. It was like a whole group effort of this horse, and then we took him to the Futurity, and I marked a 2:13 the first go, and I remember I was just bummed. I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna make the second go." So I ended up making the second go, and I came back, and this horse just felt like a totally different horse. And I marked a 22 or whatever, and as a 19-year-old kid to end up making the Futurity finals, it was huge for me. And I just got married. It was awesome. It was such a blessing in my life. And then in the ghetto, it was my first batch of horses I got to. I was in Sharon, South Carolina. My buddy Coop sold him to me as a 2-year-old. At this time in his 2-year-old year, I just got him, and Cooper called me and said, "Hey, you need to look at this horse." So I went and watched him, and ended up getting him. And it was
Tried to get me to buy him. My wife said, "Hey, you bought too many horses. You don't
yeah,
need any more."
Tony reached his limit according to Laura Beth. We didn't think so, but Laura Beth thought so.
Darn it.
So we took him to. I was working out of your place that year in Sharon, South Carolina, and it was my first batch of horses to train all by myself. And it's a lot of stressful times and a lot of confusing times, I know, for me as an individual. But for that horse to be able to come here, and he just felt like a 5-year-old show horse when I showed him. Like it speaks volumes for that horse, I think. And he gave me a lot of confidence in training a horse. He told me, you can do this by yourself. You got this. Like, you can do it. So I think he was one that really helped my confidence as an open rider also.
Isn't it amazing how these horses teach you so much, and you didn't know it at the time. And I attempted to train one for about 3 weeks, and I gave up. And I could have just beat my head against those center blocks every day. And so kudos to you guys. I mean, for sticking it out, and you made it here. And man, I wish y'all so much going forward. And I know y'all do great things, but it's pretty awesome just to see what you've already accomplished. And I'm pretty anxious to see where you're going. But Colt, can you pick a few?
Yeah, okay, yeah. So,
I remember the early ones.
yeah, so.
Me too. Was any turnback horse or whatever he get on?
Yeah, so my first.
So what won the Open that morning?
One
That's one of the ones he wanted to check.
The first horse I ever got a check on was Pepe's Bo Diddley, and it took me a while to get my first check. Like, it took me a while. I mean, it probably didn't take that long, but in my head, it took me a while. And once that happened, that was pretty cool. And then there was a horse called Risto's Delta King that I got to show, and he was a horse Skip Queen had. He sold him the Augusta sale. When he sold him, he may have sold him with a bottle of sedatives. He was a crazy horse. I remember, very crazy horse actually, but he taught me, how to have bigger time runs at that age, and that fast, nice horse, awesome. Special order paint though was the main one in the youth. Corey,
Rowdy.
yeah, Rowdy. Corey Pounds had him when he was younger, and then the Deals owned him, and they were actually turning back on him for like 2 years. Their son was, and I go, I wanted to haul for the world, and they were kind of trying to find me a horse and all that, and they said, "Why don't you try Rowdy?" So I said, "Oh, awesome, I'll try him." He won 200,000. It wasn't like he was no slouch of a turnback horse. And we went to that show in South Carolina, or is it South Carolina? Is it Camden where we went?
Yeah.
That's the first time I showed him. I marked like a 3 or 4, and I was like, "Oh, this could work." And kind of history since then. I remember hauling against Joey Vonador, and he had bought some horses from Paul. Raymond, he was an awesome horse, and we were hauling against each other in the world, and I used to like, "Why don't you own a turnback horse?" Really, a turnback horse won a lot of money though. He was pretty awesome, and actually, Gavin's parents own him now. I'm pretty sure he's still at y'all's place, right?
Yeah, he's turned out.
He was such a crazy horse. He would just like take off out of the blue. We'd be loping around there, he'd just take off. and I looked like a little rag doll. I was so little, I looked like you broke my neck. And but he was an awesome horse. And then didn't really show much in the non-pro. Cat Scratch Sister, she taught me, how to win. I guess Cat Scratch Sister and High Brown AD, my brother's mare, they were a big part of a lot of it. But in the Open, when I worked for Russ Westfall, Special Cat was kind of the one that got me my first Open finalist. We didn't even know I was entered in the Open at the BI. That was my first Open finals. I just thought I was entered in the Limited, and I looked up on CHC, and it had me in the Open deal. And they accidentally entered me in that, and that's how I made my first Open. And I was on that horse, and he kind of taught me that whole year how to do that, like how to make finals. And then obviously Playful Smooth Talker's been the, he was the main one.
Yeah.
But Special Cat wouldn't have gave me the momentum going into that futurity to give me the confidence. It probably wouldn't have worked out as well. So Special Cat was a big one, but Playful Smooth Talker kind of got me, just made everybody, I guess, notice. Rock My Ray the same year, but that horse, he taught me so much. I started him. He lived in the same pen as Soul Rain at Jody Galleon's, and I'd look at Soul Rain, and he was this big, pretty roan stud, and then this little, scrawny talker stud colt that everybody's like, you need to cut, and I'm like, yeah, and then I'd ride Soul Rain. It's like his first time on the flag. When I put him on it, and he like sprawls out and jumps left and right with his flag. It like acts like he's been on it for 6 months, and then Playful Smooth Talker's still taking off with me at this point. He was so crazy. He was, and then I went to Cass's for a minute, and worked, worked for him. And then when I went to Russ's, I think is when he really seen his first cow, and like October. No, it was in September, and then we left in October, and this is pretty special to me. Gerald Alexander, which was one of the greats ever, the best. I think he is the greatest of all time of 2-year-old guys and horsemen. I called him one day to check because he was working on 2-year-olds while we were gone at Vegas, just to ask him. And he goes, I know your horse is green. I know he's little, and this same year's Riptide and Spanish Knight, so some pretty good horses. He said, but I got a feeling this horse is going to win more than all these horses. And I said, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I've rode them all. You don't got to lie to me. Thank you. But little did I know, he didn't do that. He didn't pump you up. If, Mr. Austin says if he said you had a good one, it was probably a great one.
It was a great one.
Yeah. So we got closer to the futurity, and at the end of the 2-year-old year, Clay Vollmer tried him. He ended up not passing the vet check. He had an OCD. I was young when I bought him. I didn't check the X-rays. Bought him for $5,100 in triangle sale.
He probably didn't even look at him anyway.
He probably didn't even have it. And Clay Vollmer tried him. Same day he tried Spanish Knights. He got off of him. He said, I'll take him. I'll bet him. He didn't negotiate, didn't nothing. It's for a lot of money. Went to the vet. They vetted him. Didn't pass him. I was heartbroken. I was like, oh, man, because I was like, and Russ is like, hey, I think this is going to work out better. He's like, you don't know it, but I think it's going to work out better. And I was like, I don't know about that. I don't see that happening.
Money sounds pretty good.
So
Greenback's coming back.
So I had a Dawn work him a couple times throughout the year, and one day we're in the restaurant there at Silverado during the bash. He goes, hey, you still want to sell that horse? And I go, Russ been telling me don't sell him. He's a good horse. You need to show him. You need to train him out and show him. And I go, well, no, I want to show the horse. He's like, well, Don's like, well, you do need to sell him, but what if you still get to show him? We make a deal and all that. And I said, well, yeah, that's awesome. So the Quirks bought him, and he. So I got to show him at the futurity, and the rest was kind of history. I won the limited, won the intermediate, made the finals. Got ran over in the finals. At that point, it was heartbreaking, but it was the best lesson that I ever learned. That night getting ran over in the finals, it was at that point I was still happy because we were there, but I was heartbroken. But at the same time, he stepped on a shoe, pulled it off, fell down. It, basically fell down. But that horse taught me so much how to win that show and how to lose, if that makes sense, and lose the right way. Because it's not like sometimes it's not how you win, it's how you lose. And that horse kind of taught me that. And it was cool. And he led on to, I never get third at the Super Stakes on Storyteller, I don't feel like, if I don't lose that cow in the Futurity finals that night, because it taught me to slow down and how to handle myself a little better in them moments, just let the run build itself, not try to force it. So I owe a lot to that horse.